Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I got a real quick one for you, a little update concerning GameStop. So recently I did a video talking about a previous experience that I had with being banned for pre-ordering games. Like I couldn't pre-order games anymore at this specific store because I had canceled a couple games. It made no sense, but on that video, video did fairly well. There was a lot of people that were with me on that, like, hey, that's ridiculous. And there was a little handful of people who were like with pitchforks and torches, like, dude, if you're gonna pre-order something, that means you're promising to pay. You were in the wrong for not fulfilling your obligations on those pre-orders. And I'm just like, dude, you guys are out of your freaking mind. Like, seriously, my money's my money. Just because I pre-order something, which if you want to see that story, I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. Like I canceled like one or two pre-orders, like give me a break, but it is what it is. But now GameStop has updated their pre-order refund policy. I'm not even 100% sure what their policy was before, but according to this Kotaku article, GameStop is changing its pre-order refund policy. Kotaku has learned. Now, if you want to get your money back for a pre-order you've placed, you'll have 30 days after the launch of the game to get a full cash refund. Thank you, GameStop. There's been so many times where people would say, oh, they try to make you move it to something else. I had an instance once where they like left a penny. Like I remember I asked them to shift it. Like I was like, you know what? Let me get this version, like almost a similar story to what I'd talked about before, where it was a standard edition, but I wanted the collector's edition, where I had asked them to transfer that to a different edition, and they left a penny on that pre-order just so they wouldn't cancel it. Like, so you put $4.99, I think it was like $5 I put down. You put $4.99 on another pre-order. Like, that was scandalous, man. Like, I bitched about that one, all right? But it was like, hey, just boom, put that money over. So they were always doing weird things, but now they're saying you got 30 days to get a full cash refund, all your money back. You put down $5, put down $10, put down $60, doesn't matter. You got up to 30 days after the launch. So if a game is announced and they have it in their pre-order system that comes out next year, a year from today, for example, and you put down $10, 30 days after the release of that game, you still can get your money back. If it goes after 30 days, it's just going to be store credit. So you're forced to use your money. Is this policy fair? Well, I think it's better than being told, hey, we don't want you canceling games or pulling some weird shenanigans with shifting stuff around like I've heard so many times before. It is a bunch of nonsense with the way they conduct business. So the GameStop spokesperson adds, according to this article, we have also empowered our stores with the extra capability of doing what is right for the customer. Is GameStop hearing everybody and their stories about how they've been wronged? I have so many stories about how I've been wronged, not just the pre-order thing, but with pre-order bonuses and stuff like that. I remember speaking about one a while back with the Monster Hunter for the 3DS. I got the collector's edition. There are these little pins that you were supposed to get, and they're like, oh, we don't have them, sorry. And I was like the first one in line. I was like, dude, come on, man. And then I remember going back to the store like 2 days later for something else, and all the employees had the pins on their freaking lanyards. I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, I asked you for that a couple days ago. That was advertised to get this stupid little pin. Like, I mean, I don't really care too much, but it's still like, what is right? Like, if you pre-order something, there's some kind of bonus to it. You know, usually it's a limited thing, like first come, first serve. And none of the employees have these pins on their lanyards. I'm the first person to go pick up the game, and you don't give me one. Then a day or two later, everybody has these pins on. Like, come on now, that's just scandalous stuff. I've had other experiences that were actually good with pre-order bonuses where I would pick something up and they'd be like, oh, hey, we still have this left over from a different game. Like, it seems like you like this kind of stuff. Hey, do you want this? And just gave me free, pre-order merch type stuff, posters, little tiny figures, pins, stuff like that, little nonsense things. There's been good experiences, but the bad experiences are always the ones that people remember. And GameStop, really, to stay viable and have people like me wanting to continue going to that store or to their stores, you do need to do what's right for the customer. I know I've gone on rants about the way they treat their employees, and how that trickles down to how the employees react to the customers and how they go about doing their jobs. I've even had conversations not even too long ago, but like around the holidays, with an employee at my local GameStop, talking about how, you know, the company lost so much money and all this stuff. And the dude, he seemed pretty cool, and he was like, look man, like, I'm sure you understand, like, it's not us, the ones who work in the store, it's corporate's the ones who are enforcing these policies, putting the pressure on the employees. And I definitely, you know, recognize that, and I've always stated these are corporate issues, these are management issues that are pushed down, snowballed down onto the people below them, that forces them to, you know, to treat customers the way they do, to try to protect their jobs, to try to force these pre-orders, to get, you know, upset with the customer for canceling a pre-order. You know, they really do need to shift the way they look at those things, and hopefully stuff like this is going in the right direction. You never know though, because it could also be district managers, store level managers who put pressure on the employees, you know, in a different aspect than what corporate would. There's so many different layers of management and different, you know, ways that they want to manage what they're, you know, dealing with, and how to make themselves look better. And definitely some stores are going to be managed differently, different districts are going to be managed differently, there's going to be different attitudes, different, you know, vibes with the people that those employees are dealing with. So your mileage may vary depending upon the store you go to. And I definitely have had good experiences, but I've had bad experiences as well. And that's why I talked about them. I've had so many people, man, on some of these videos just like not get it. Like, I'm not against GameStop, I'm just against the way they treat their employees and the way that affects their customers. I've had, you know, so many awesome experiences going out to midnight releases, partying with people, hanging out to get like the newest Call of Duty type stuff or other, you know, games and systems. And it's definitely a lot of things that were good, but just you have to have some respect to your customers and be very clear with what your policies are. You know, you can't be pulling the crap like I talked about in my previous video about, oh, I want to buy this game. Well, you didn't pre-order it. If you pre-order something else, I'll let you buy it. Like, ooh, like, why do I want to feel obligated to inflate your numbers just so I can have the benefit to buy a game? I know I spoke about that Tekken issue where I had that happen and they wound up firing the employee. That's not my fault. That's the employee's fault. I had people who were pissed at me like, oh, you must feel like a big man for getting an employee fired. The employee got himself fired. I've been in management for years. I have business degrees. I understand how things work, and definitely different businesses are going to deal with people in different ways. But typically when you're treating a customer that way and you get fired, you get reprimanded, that's on you. That's not the customer's fault. And it's just the way it is. Like, really, I hope they grow from these things. I hope they fix these issues. They've had so many problems in the past. The shift in the way the gaming business, the distribution of games is going, GameStop, to remain viable, definitely has to make some changes. I grew up going to, you know, Software Etc., Babbage's, Funko Land, and then even later on, Game Crazy. Game Crazy was like my favorite freaking gaming store. In California, they were attached to Hollywood Videos. I love that store. That's where I got like, I believe my Wii and a couple other systems, tons of games, because the employees that worked there, they had similar things to like GameStop, where they wanted you to pre-order or buy their little, you know, whatever program it was they were selling. But it just seemed like a whole different vibe. I never really heard too many people complaining about Game Crazy. If you have a story about Game Crazy that was just redonkulous, I would definitely be curious to hear about it, because myself personally, I only ever dealt with 2 different Game Crazies and never had an issue with either of them. I was sad to see them go, but it was more so they had to go because Hollywood Video was not a viable business any longer, you know, renting DVDs and Blu-rays and whatnot, just like Blockbuster. There still are, it's kind of crazy, there still are rental stores that rent movies and video games. I see them all the time, and it's a weird thing to see. you know, not locally to me, but a couple cities away, there's a video store, and I'm just like, I don't know how these places stay in business, but it's still kind of neat to see those things. So just wanted to share this with you guys, talk about it a little bit. Hey, it is what it is. Glad they're doing something. Is this policy fair? I don't know, but it is definitely better than what I've experienced in the past. So really do appreciate it. Smash that like button. Make sweet ass GameStop love to that notification bell, or you can just make normal, sweet ass love to that notification bell. Whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? Really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye. Thumbs up or down, whatever you want. Thank you.